Microsoft just released some research that details an AI model they created that can deepfake somebody using a single photo. So this model is called VASA-1, VASA-1, and it can use a photo to create a realistic video of a person talking or singing that you can sync up with an existing audio track. So Ars Technica had this description of the model. It says the VASA framework, short for Visual Effective Skills Animator, uses machine learning to analyze a static image along with a speech audio clip. It is then able to generate a realistic video with precise facial expressions, head movements, and lip syncing to the audio. Right now, this model, which is only in research mode at the moment, does not clone or simulate voices, though obviously there's plenty of tools that do that. Interestingly, this model, they say right in the reporting, was trained on YouTube clips because it used a data set created years ago by researchers that has a bunch of data extracted from videos uploaded to YouTube. So given the model's speed and power, this could actually potentially be used in real-time applications like video conferencing, or it could power avatars that just render locally on your machine. Now, Microsoft's researchers, wary of the ways this technology could be misused, say they are not openly releasing the code that powers the model at this time. So, Paul, while Microsoft isn't really releasing the code here, they're not the only AI lab working on this type of thing. We wanted to talk about it just because it is such a stark example of how quickly this technology has progressed. But I guess my question is, don't we just have to accept now that anyone can be deepfaked from a single image, whether or not Microsoft releases this particular version of this technology?
It's a recurring topic or theme on this podcast of like we're just in a different place, and most of society is blissfully unaware that this stuff happens. So when I saw this, I went back to our book, Mike, Marketing
Yeah.
Artificial Intelligence. And so we released that in summer 2022, and I'll just read a quick excerpt from it. So we were in a chapter we were talking about vision, AI vision technology and its implications. There was a section in there called "The Danger of Deepfakes to Your Brand." And we wrote, vision can also be applied to produce deepfake videos in which a person in an existing image or video is replaced with someone else's likeness. The prevalence and impact of deepfake videos is just beginning, and having an understanding of the underlying technology will help you prepare your brand for its potential. Now, in this case, we're talking about an image of a person that you just turn into a video. Went on to say, and this was me talking, I did a fair amount of crisis communications planning early in my career. Basically, you envision different scenarios of what could go wrong, then put strategies in place for how organizations will react. Then you hope none of it actually happens. Never did I imagine a day in which brands would be planning for deepfake videos of executives doing and saying things that never happen in real life, but here we are. But the interesting part is we then went on to say AI has made it possible and relatively easy with the right resources to create fake videos of people that appear and sound real. According to the Department of Defense, one of their people who is developing software to detect and prevent the spread of deepfakes, this was a quote: "It only takes about 500 images or 10 seconds of video to create a realistic deepfake."
And
So that was 2022. You needed 500 images or 10 seconds of video. Here we are with a single image and a single audio clip, and we have deepfake technology. So in a 2-year span, we have gone from the state of the art, which the Department of Defense probably had the most powerful stuff at the time, to this. So yeah, it's this recurring theme of, oh yeah, breakthrough happened. Sora from OpenAI is an example. We can now create minute-long videos that maintain their consistency, or we can generate videos from a single image, whatever it is. And we're not releasing it because, well, going back to the open source conversation, if they're doing it, then it's either already in other labs or it will be within 3 to 6 months. And there's going to be plenty of open source models who have no problem releasing it because they believe you release everything and you put it in the hands and democratize it, no matter how potentially dangerous it is. So if we hear about this tech from Microsoft or from OpenAI or whomever, assume that within 6 months, it will be open sourced by someone and this stuff will be all over the web.
I think it's also worth noting here, there's just this inherent tension between the people creating the technology, but also trying to release it responsibly. Not at all knocking Microsoft. I'm glad they're thinking about how it could be misused. But like we've discussed, you get into this cycle or this game, this arms race, where it's like, even if they say they're not releasing it today, all we need is for someone else to make a breakthrough or to open source it or to OpenAI says, guess what? There's Sora free plans for everybody or whatever. Pick your category of AI. And suddenly Microsoft's like, oh, yeah, we
Go
can't
for it.
not commercialize this anymore.
Yeah, you're
So,
right. It just takes one person to put it out in the world, and it's like, oh, okay, well, somebody else did it. Now we can go. It's what happened with ChatGPT.
yes.
Google had the technology. They weren't willing to put that kind of technology out into the world. OpenAI had less to lose, so they did it. And then everybody else had to follow suit. So yeah, it's like, man, it's going to get so weird.
Yeah. Yeah. This is probably another area where I know we've seen some pretty crazy deep fakes, but I feel like we've got at least a couple apocalyptic examples that are going to happen soon that people are going to be like, wait a sec, what? You
Yeah.
can do what?
Yeah.